we're back again. Yes, people, hope you're okay. Welcome back to another channel. And today I'm going to do my first fan live reaction. And if you like my videos, please stick a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. And I've got a couple of guests coming on. And the first one I've got is Liam from LFTV. Liam, how are you doing, kid?
Well, I am fine. It's a lovely day, which makes everything the better.
And yeah, that's all it is. It's sunny here today, 7 Celsius here today, which I think is great. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be spring tomorrow apparently, and hopefully get plenty of sunshine. See 20 Celsius plus, which would be nice. So go on the beach.
Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about is yesterday's game at St James's Park. Finished Newcastle 1, Wolves 1, and we should have been out of sight in the first half, but at the end of the day, I mean, we didn't win the game because Jamal Lewis's, well, I would say mistake. He just didn't stop the cross coming in. And then the back should have got a hand to it. He got a hand to it, just didn't do enough. And I felt 2 points dropped. What do you think, Liam?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be one of them games where we wouldn't score and then would be all over them, and then they get a goal in the 89th minute, because I think we had a few chances that should have been in the back of the net, like you said. But Lewis needs to do a lot better with that ball. Ultimately, a fullback is just needs to stop the cross coming in, which he hasn't, and then it's obviously the Bravka should have saved it or got more of a stronger hand to it.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is, it's great to see Martin back anyway, sort of thing. Then I'm getting people on social media come on and say, oh, Dollar would have saved this, Dollar would have saved that. But what people have to realise that Martin's the #1 keeper. He's the #1 choice. And for me, I've got no problems in him coming back in. And look, he made a save at right in the end, which I didn't think he knew anything about. Came off a shoulder. And it hadn't been for that, we would have lost that game. And are you glad to see him back?
I think everyone's glad to see him back on there. Do you know what I mean? He is. Darlow has been good, but I think Dubravka is that next level type of goalkeeper. He will pull off saves that you're not expecting him to pull off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, end of the day, Darlow will have to work to get his players back, and at the minute, unless Dubravka gets injured again, I cannot see him getting back in the team, which is a shame because he's been awesome in the first half, but mistakes the last couple of weeks has been coming into his game, and there's a reason why he's got dropped. So, and if you look at the goals and the chances we had, Willock was close, should have scored, and Miron tried to score the perfect goal, came off the post. Joe Linton, I'll come on to in a minute, but the goal was coming, and first I had an assist for Lascelles. I thought Lascelles was excellent yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was obviously a well worked, because I think it was a well worked set piece, wasn't it? I think it was ASM that assisted, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
Oh, Fraser from the right hand side.
Yeah, it was a good cross, and obviously you've got to be in the box to score them, haven't you? You saw which Joe Linton was that type of player that gets up above defenders and puts them in the back of the net, but a goal's a goal at the end of the day. Obviously we need Callum Wilson back desperately.
Oh, we missed him. We definitely missed him in front of goal. I mean, and that being, yeah, I know what you mean, man. We definitely missed him big time. But injuries is not going to help us. ASM is going to be out for a few weeks, I think, and Amiron got a knee injury. We need one of those back. Out of the two, I'd take Amiron.
Would you? I think ASM makes more of an impact in the games.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, definitely true. If you look at Amiron's work rate sort of thing, he gives you energy sort of thing. Yeah, and ASM, yeah, I take it back. They're both missed. We both need them back ASAP. Yeah, Wilson's out as well. Who's going to step up on the plate? Can you honestly see Joe Linton, Carroll, Gale can step up to the plate?
I think between the three of them, I don't think they'll score a good goal. There's no confidence in that out of them three strikers. But I think if you've got to look at one, I think Joe Linton the last 2 games, he hasn't been impressive, but he's been impressive as a Joe Linton performance. But yeah, I think it's obviously Fraser's going to have to step up to the mark now and play. He's probably going to be starting against whoever we've got next. I think it's Brighton, isn't it, off the top of my head?
No, West Brom away, and then it's West Brom.
So I think it's just going to be interesting to see how we're set up. And obviously, I think set pieces are going to be massive because we need with defenders to be scoring with big tall lads.
Absolutely right. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's just you can't really come at the end of the season. If you get relegated by a point or two, it comes to that. And you got to hold on to leads. We just cannot defend properly as well sometimes, you know what I mean? Like yesterday, I mean, 2 defenders going for the same bar, Clark and Lascelles, and Nevers was got at the end of it sort of thing, and that was that.
Yeah, like you can't really I can't really blame the centre backs. I think it was more Lewis should have stopped that ball from coming in. It was all Lewis's fault on my side.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that Lascelles should have stopped that ball. He just stood there, didn't he? And if that's poor defending, man, I mean, he either steam into him or just now at the angle, he did absolutely no. I mean, I do like Lewis, but at the minute, he needs to be coached properly. And I want to go on to Joe Linton. I mean, I'm getting a bit ripped at the minute. I mean, I said at Joe Linton, I said he was poor, but if I look back on it, people completely missed us. Like, for me, he wasn't the worst player on the pitch. I think he did okay, but he keeps losing the bars in our own half, trying to be clever. But that chance he had, he should have put that one away. If it's gone on lift down, he should have gone on the corner. But I'm getting people saying like, oh, he did his best, did his best. Do you think he should have done better?
He should have done better, but then in his mind, he beat the keeper, and it was just happened to be that there was just a defender on the line. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he's not an out and out striker, so he's probably just whacked it and just hoped it would fall nicely in the back of the net. So like I said earlier, I think Joe Linton's performances have improved the last 2 games. Obviously, they're still not to the standard that we expect from him, but if he's improving every game, then you can't really keep giving him grief. Do you know what I mean? But he can, but it's different.
Yeah, thing is, I praise him. I praise him when he does well, and I just cuss him when he doesn't do it. But I'm getting people saying, I didn't have to go at Willock. I didn't have to go at Miggy. I just did. I just said those 2 should have scored anyway. Willock should have scored, and Milan tried to score a perfect goal and came off the post. Yeah, but I thought Willock. I mean, I think he did decent in the first half. I drifted out the game, but I thought he was quiet. But I thought he did well first half. Like, apart from that miss.
Yeah, I think obviously Willock is probably still a bit rusty from. Obviously, he only played like a couple of games for Arsenal in the Europa League, didn't he? So he's probably still finding his feet himself. Do you know what I mean? So if this is him like 80%, then it's going to be interesting to see what he's like when he's properly match fit.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, it takes time. I'll give this guy all the time in the world. I mean, I'd love to see Willock on a season on loan next season as well. If he does come and judge him from there. And Emil Kraft, how do you think he did yesterday?
If I'm being totally honest, I can't really remember much of Kraft's performance. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I kind of honestly, mate, I can't remember. Obviously, I know he went off. I don't even remember him coming off injured.
Yeah, he came off injured for Richie.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
At this moment, and yeah, I mean, it's just basically first half again, it's defensive failures again, it's just catching our mood sort of thing. Don't get us wrong. I mean, he had a good shot from 20 yards and keep our safety low to his foot. But other than that sort of thing, like he didn't do much. Like I think he wasn't really tested a lot, but at times he used to get skinned. But I think he did okay. But again, still not good enough for me, sort of thing, But I thought I want to touch on John Joe Shelby of his comments and also on his performance last night. The comments he said about picking up Steve Bruce, saying that he's the best manager he's ever worked with. Is he only saying that because he don't want to lose his place, or has he got to say that to the press?
He's probably got to say that to the press, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? You kind of go on like, because I think it was Sky, wasn't it? Or was it just with Charlie Austin? Is it Charlie Austin? I think it was Charlie Austin. You kind of go around and say, oh yeah, he's a terrible manager because then he's never going to get. If Bruce is such a good manager, I think the Telegraph reported that Darlow didn't find out from Bruce that he got dropped. So can it be that good of a manager? Do you know what I mean?
Definitely not. I mean, the way he acted, sort of thing, like, I mean, I did little slightly Darlow saying that it's competition, you got to work for it. But when I look back on it, I think Steve Bruce handled it very, very wrong. He should have told him to his face. And if you haven't done that, the guy's gutless, let me tell you. And I'm dead good talking about Bruce and Jones later on. And just got a few comments here as well. Got Sam saying, 2 points dropped, simple as last night. I got to agree with that. And yeah, Patterson Fulham was an awful game. I didn't even watch it, mate. Apparently it was poor. And Jay said, how can Lee Ryder gave Kraft a 6 out of 10?
Because he can. Do you know what I mean? It's just people's opinion, I think.
Yeah.
Because he was Traore was his wing, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think some of the times I do remember, he was going a bit too tight with Traore, and obviously his burst of pace and power, he just flew straight past him. You're just thinking, have you not watched Traore before? If you get too tight with him, he's just going to sprint past you. But
I think he's quality.
How long is he going to be out for, Kraft? Or is it just like one of them, just a knock?
I don't know. I mean, Steve is going to let us know. But the thing is, so wherever you know, you should let us know ASAP and not till Friday in his press conference, which I'm going to do on Friday with Holly, as usual. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting on Friday, see what's going to happen, sort of thing. How long do we out for? But, this club don't tell you now, don't they? They hardly tell you anything, you know what I mean? So, which I think is a shambles, the club from top to bottom.
Definitely, mate. So what did you make of John Joe Shelby's performance then?
Listen, I thought he backed it up yesterday, sort of thing. I thought he had a good game for me. And that's the best I've seen him play for quite a long time. I thought he got back and tackled. That through ball for minimum's quality. And he did a lot of running as well. No walking.
Yeah.
He did a lot of running as well. So, yeah, I'm chuffed from yesterday. I mean, one of your guys gave him an 8.5 out of 10. Me, I would have probably given him a 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I would have given him. But listen, that's the best game he's played for a long, long time. Now, if he does that every week and take it to him, I'll be happy. But what I won't accept from him and can't accept from him is strolling around the pitch day and out. And passing doesn't give a monkeys, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I think I had a good game.
Yeah, he definitely did. Like, it could have been because it was his birthday and he just wanted to not get crap on his birthday. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it was Callum Wilson's birthday yesterday, was it as well?
29.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, if John Joe Shelby plays that way every game, then he's going to create chances for players like he did with Miggy, where he's going to see that ball that no one else sees. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully this isn't now going to be a run of where John Joe Shelby's had one good game and then he's going to be poor on the next couple.
Yeah, we need him playing every single week. That's why he gets £80,000 a week to put onto phones each and every week. And if he does that, then and keeps us up, then okay, cool. Then I still want to see a new team at Newcastle next season. I want to see loads of players come in the next season, have a brand new team because some of them's out, stay the state anyway. But yeah, I mean, come on to ASM. I thought he played well this first half. But yeah, I'm going to pull it.
Oh, definitely not. I think that's what Pal said. He's like, asked them who do you think's better, Ben Arthur or ASM. And he said the thing with Ben Arthur is he wouldn't really lose the ball, and he would always have like an end product from what he remembered. But sometimes ASM gets past everybody, does all the tricks, and then just kind of cross or kind of shoot. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit frustrating, but I think he is only 23. I think top of my head, 23, 24. So he's still got a lot of time to learn.
Yeah. I mean, when he's match fit every week and he produces performances like that, I think the guy's great. But again, he needs an end product to his game. If he's got an end product to his game, it'll be absolutely fine. I've got no problems in whatsoever. But I've got an end product.
Yeah, if he has got an end product, he's definitely not going to be at Newcastle for much longer. Then, do you know what I mean? So it's maybe a good thing. It's maybe a good thing he's a bit poor at the moment.
And I mean, keep that on quiet, man. It's just this is the thing with Newcastle, I mean, we're just a stepping stone club, really, and everyone knows that. We're a stepping stone club, which is so frustrating. I don't want to hear that. I want our club to be doing fantastically well. Do you know what I mean? But at the minute, we just don't seem to keep our good players. That's why. I tell you what, I mean, if we do get rid of some, say, £40 million, do you know what? I'll go back and get Ivan Toney. Get him back to Newcastle.
It's hard. It's hard because you can be an extremely good Championship player and then a Premier League player. If you look like Dwight Gale, what was he? Got like 20 goals in the Championship and then you can barely get 4 or 5 in a season in the Premier League. So I think it's going to be interesting. Like, we definitely shouldn't have sold him for 650 grand. Like, I think that was one of the stupidest decisions we've ever done. But that's the thing. Like, that was Rafa that got rid of Tony, wasn't it? So
Yeah, put it down to him. But I'll give you a name as well. People say, "Oh, he's a great Championship player, but he can't do it in the Premier League." Ollie Watkins. I'll give him that. He is absolutely fantastic. If I was to give him marks out of 10 from this season, right, for Villa, I'll give him a 9.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
And he only cost £28 million from Brentford. 28 million. Oh, we go and sign Jordan for £40 million then.
Yeah. I'm still scratching my head now who valued him at 40 million, like.
Well, Steve Nixon. And I've always said that whoever decides, if it's him who's decided to get him, he should be charged with fraud and deception, because that is absolutely shocking. Believe you and me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've got Jason John, hope you're well. You can also say hi to Liam as well. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I want to come on to, I don't know if you've seen the clip with Steve Bruce and Graham Jones. I mean, having like a 10-second clip. Now, I got a tweet yesterday and this morning saying that Bruce told Jones to F off, basically. Now, we don't know that exactly. Yeah, I was listening to Steve Riff and Mickey Barnes earlier a bit on NEFC Matters, and he was chatting about that. And something ain't quite right there. They need to get themselves sorted out, because I'll tell you something, they need to get along very quickly. If they don't, one of them's going to have to go, and I hope it's Bruce.
Yeah, I actually, my pal sent us the Twitter link to that actual thing, and you can, it's like having a conversation, and Graham Jones walks away, and then he just goes like F off. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing. Bruce doesn't want to, like, Bruce's team is Bruce's team, and like it doesn't seem like he wants help from the outside. Do you know what I mean? But if, like you said, they do need to get on, because it's at the end of the day, it's the club that matters, not personal relationships. Like, as long as they're professional with what they do, they don't have to be best friends, as long as they've got the club at the head and the heart. Do you know what I mean? That's what they need to be thinking about.
Looks good for TV, doesn't it? If we saw that, but I see what I just hope that they get along very, very quickly and just get on, be professional, and just get us some wins as well. So, yeah, who's the man of the match yesterday?
Man of the match?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go and give it to the birthday boy. I think Mr. John Joe Shelby. That's who I'll probably give it to.
Yeah, I'll say the same. Shelby, definitely Shelby for me. I mean, he stepped up where it really mattered, sort of thing. He backed up his words, and and there's no strolling for him, and he was up for it. He tried to make things happen, and he was unlucky by the last shot when the pullback free kick was pulled back and Shelby went for the top corner, and it just went over the top, but bubbled before you hit the bar, sort of thing. So yeah, at this moment in time, listen, he had a good game, and that's all I could ask for the guy,
Yeah.
And got Jason here. I would have loved it if I saw Jones for Bruce and put him in a split. Do you know what I mean?
That would have been good, like.
It would have been, I reckon it would have been fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Can you remember that Boy and Dyer back in 2005 at the Fountain Pitch? I can remember that. I was there. At this moment in time. And I tell you something, they both got a 3-game ban for that. Graham Souness have to get him in the press conference on the day and explain to them both what's happened, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And they shook hands at the end in the press room. Shook hands. You can't see Bruce doing that.
No. Well, I think next. I think I seen one of Dyer's interviews, and he said Shearer came in and like absolutely went crackers with them both. And then I think that's Graham Souness came in and said, "I'll fight the both of you right now if you want." Do you know what I mean? That's just typical. It's just a typical Newcastle thing that happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's only Newcastle where two of their own team would start scrapping on the pitch.
Yeah, man. But I tell you something as well, it's just absolutely crazy, man. I mean, Graham Souness on his day, he was a crap manager, but I tell you something, right? The guy on the pitch back in the days, I tell you, if Graham Souness is on the pitch today, I'll tell you something, he'd be the best defender, he'd be the best midfielder in the world. That guy was absolutely brilliant. He took absolutely no prisoners on that pitch whatsoever. He's a leader, a true leader. That's why Liverpool has been winning trophies, European Cups, leagues, cups, the lot. And it's all because of that guy as well. He's a part of that team.
Yeah.
But I just got a new thumbnail today for the fans' reaction. So I've got that done as well. So she's absolutely excellent. She's done it for us. I've got to give her some money for it very soon. So we got West Brom. We got the next 3 games. We got West Brom. We got Villa, Brighton, and they're all winnable games. Villa will be tough, but at the end of the day, all winnable games. We need to beat West Brom. We need to beat Brighton, because if we don't win those games, I'll look at it. I could see West Brom get out of it,
Yeah, obviously they got that good victory yesterday, didn't they? But yeah, we need to be winning definitely against West Brom and definitely against Brighton. Obviously Villa are like 8th, I think, at the moment. So obviously they're flying compared to what they were last season. But yeah, we can't lose. The main thing is we can't lose against West Brom and Brighton. Like we need to get a win or a point, definitely.
Let's put it so, if we don't win those games, we just got to flip and hope that Fulham don't win any of their games either. They got some tough games as well. I think they got Spurs, Man City, Liverpool, and I think that's the 3 they got next. And they drew the day Neil City against Palace away. So let's hope that we get another 3 more wins, and that might be enough to keep us up. But if you look at the last 6 games we've got, they're absolutely tough, man. Tough.
Yeah. And we didn't want to be relying on the last game of the season when we go to actually Fulham. Do you know what I mean? We want to be well clear by that point. At that point.
But, yeah, I totally agree, man. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, we need to be aware. But I just hope we still have this takeover. Do you think the takeover is going to come soon? Takeover, or do you think that's by the by?
I'm not reading much into the takeover at the moment. I just want to see it just happening. Once it's through, that's all I care about. If it doesn't happen, like I think just the constant, it's going to happen this week or it's going to happen next week. Do you know what I mean? It just brings everybody's mood down. Do you know what I mean? And the fan base. Especially the way Newcastle are playing, we didn't need any more negativity. Do you know what I mean? So
totally agree, man. Totally agree. We just get on the games. Then at the end of the season, see if the takeover happens or not. But according to the Football Insider, if we get relegated, Ashley's going to slash the club from 300 million to 200 million. But my question is, why do you want to buy a club for 200 million when you can buy Derby County for 60 million? I know Newcastle got more potential. We're a bigger club than Derby County, but they might be thinking, why spend 200 million on a club when I can buy a Derby for 60?
Yeah, I think obviously Ashley wants to stay in the Premier League, doesn't he? Just for his financial gains. Because obviously it's bizarre. It's a bizarre one because Steve Bruce is arguably probably going to keep up, but if he sends it down, he's going to lose like 100 million when he could have sacked Steve Bruce for like 1.4 million. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a weird one, but obviously he's taking a calculated risk, isn't he? That Steve Bruce is going to keep up.
Aye. I can't understand Mike Ashley at all whatsoever. He's a strange individual, and the guy's deluded. He's just an ignorant owner, and he just loves to gamble. And I hope he gets what he deserves either way. I've got Jay on here. Definite problems between Jones and Bruce. He said F off was so clear. I've got Andy Ruda is going to come and be chatting in a minute. Fulham's got some tough fish just coming up, to be fair. I have to agree. Jason, the Brighton game where we lost 3-0 still haunts us. I only see a point for the next 3 games, and that's coming in a ball draw against West Brom, lose to Villa, and lost to Brighton. And poor afternoon, lads. I hope you're okay. But going back to what Jason said, I see his point. Those 2 games there, they need to win them. They need to get minimum 4 points if they can.
Yeah, like we've discussed, they are massive games now. Like I know I hate the cliche thing, but like every game is like a cup final now. Hopefully we don't ever play 5 at the back against any of these 3 teams. Like, do you know what I mean? I think that would be the worst thing we could ever do. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Hopefully it's not a ball draw. Like hopefully we get a goal or a couple of goals. So it's going to be interesting to see who scores.
Let's hope so, sort of thing. But we're going to be right key players as well. So it's players like Joe Linton, Fraser, you have to step it up to their help. And if they don't, then we are going to have problems very time soon. So, look, Liam, thanks for coming on, my guy. And I was going to say it's just a shame. I was just going to talk about the fans coming back in. I mean, is that a good thing coming back in? The fans coming back, or would you rather wait till the new season?
I think if it's for one game only, then it's not going to be fair on the home, like the home fans of the away fans, should I say? Because I think it should be where there's a chance for every fan to get in the stadium, not just one game. So I would just scrap it off for this season, and then just restart it from next season. Because I think it's only going to be still the minimum numbers, isn't it? I think it's only going to be depend on capacity. So you could be looking like what? Sorry,
10,000. I think it's going to be 10.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing to do is just scrap this season off and just wait till next season and just start from there.
It makes sense, doesn't it? It really makes sense there. So, like I said, so we see what happens in the new season, get the fans back in then. Until then, not now. Not really got this pandemic going on. Liam, thanks so much for coming on, my guy. And you can do it again next week for the West Brom.
Definitely, mate. Anytime you need us, I'll be here.
Fantastic. Well, Liam, thanks so much for coming on, and have a good day. And I shall catch you next week.
You too, mate. Speak later.
See you later. Ta-ra. That's my guy Liam, and he talks sense, doesn't he? Love the guy, and I could chat to him all day because the guy knows football. And guys, could you please stick a like on the video, and could you please subscribe if you're new? Oh, and by the way, could you please subscribe to Liam on Twitter? So Liam James Keir. The guy's wonderful. You can talk football all day. I follow him every week. So I've got Paul on here. Updates on ASM and Miggy. I say, well, look, we're going to find out from Boost probably on Friday to see how long he's going to be on this press conference. That's all you're going to know. And also Jason, rather the fans don't return till Boost is gone, he doesn't serve us fans well. Jason, I have to agree there. So wait till the summer sort of thing. Wait till the new season to come on. So I'm going to bring in now, and he's all normally me on me chat every week, and he's a great lad. He's supposed to be Bristol City. And Anuruddha, how are you doing, my guy? You okay?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Not very bad. Thanks so much for coming on, mate. And
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it was on my channel, which I think is great. And you know, we could have done that win yesterday. And you support Bristol City, is that right?
Yes, I support Bristol City. I do. Yes.
You do. Well, we're going to talk about your team in a minute there. And well, Nigel Pearson, I mean, we could have done. I don't know if you listened to our chat yesterday, me and Paul. We missed an absolute trick not getting this guy to manage Newcastle to play 2 games, and he won 2 games, and he scored 6 goals in the last 2 away games. How do you feel, son?
I mean, it feels strange because we've not scored 6 goals in 2 games for a while, but we've done it now. And I thought that win away at Middlesbrough was particularly impressive because we were absolutely shocking before that, and he was there for like 3 hours, and he just turned it around instantly. And the fact that the defense and the attack were working together was absolutely delightful to watch. And then the win away at Swansea showed real determination and grit to get back into the game after going 1-0 down to a very good Swansea team. Score 3 away at the Liberty. I mean, these are two teams who don't concede many, and we've scored 6 against them. That is really good. And Nigel Pearson's really having an effect on these players because Dean Holden wouldn't have had the same effect on these players if he stayed for much longer. So Nigel Pearson, obviously, instant impact, but we just got to hope that this continues.
Yeah, you know what it is, mate? I totally agree, mate. I mean, absolutely, totally agree. And yeah, I mean, he's come in, and the players are looking up to Nigel Pearson at this moment in time. And yeah, he's getting you playing some cracking football in 2 games. And yeah, how is he going to get into the playoffs, maybe? Or are you going to left it too late?
I think we've left it a little too late. If we'd sacked him after the Watford game, maybe if we'd won against Reading and Barnsley, maybe we would have had a chance. But we've left it a little bit too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he has really. He's still got some games. He's still got points to play with as well. I mean, it's such a long season, the Championship, and you've got some cracking teams at the moment. You've got like the Norwiches, the Watfords, the Bournemouth, the Brentfords. And yeah, I mean, it seems that Nigel's got you guys playing. You've got some good players there in a minute. You've got the lad, you've got there's Danny, the big lad up front.
Jeju up front, yeah. We have Naki Wells, who's also a striker. He's a really good championship player, but he just didn't perform for us. And then the last 2 games, guess what? Nigel Pearson comes in and he scored 3 goals already. It's absolutely mental how one player can have such a difference on one team. And the defence as well. Callas was hopeless before Nigel Pearson came in. Mariappa, of course, at Watford, and he was hopeless as well. It's just very good to see the players turning their fortunes around, really.
Yeah, man. I mean, that Callas, you paid a lot of money for the guy, something like £8 million. And Maps as well is experience at the back. And a lot of people are seeing that he hasn't been defending well until Pearson come in. So, yeah, I mean, you play a good system it's a 4-2-3-1 you play under Pearson, so 4-4-2.
We the first 2 games we've played a 5-3-2 because we just needed to defend, and no thanks. I think we'll stick with Jeju. No thanks. We'll keep Jeju and Wells. We've got Chris Martin as well, so we'll keep him. We'll keep them. I'm sure he'll come good sometime. Maybe.
Wow, so you wouldn't take Jolin on the free then?
On free? Yeah, yes, please, yeah.
Yeah, on the free. I'll tell you what, you heard it, guys. He wants Jolin on the free. Yay, yeah. So you don't really want him.
Not really.
No.
He's pretty crap.
We tried. Sorry, Jay, we did try, man.
You can try with the gas. I mean, they'd take anyone.
Yeah, the gas. And he means Bristol Rovers, so Joey Barton. Wow, I mean, I couldn't believe that Joey Barton's gone to Bristol Rovers. I'm absolutely shocked for him to go there.
I was surprised when Paul Tisdale, the ex Bristol Rovers manager, got sacked in the first place because he only had a little bit of time. And then I was slightly surprised that Joey Barton actually went in the middle of the season. I thought he would have gone in the summer, or he would have left Fleetwood in the summer after playoff disaster. But no, he left Fleetwood in the middle of the season. A few weeks later, he went to Bristol Rovers. I mean, they're in a right mess. They won against Shrewsbury yesterday, but they're in a right mess at the moment.
Wow. Yeah, they won by 2-1 as well. And here's your next game, Andy. Here's your next game.
Bournemouth at home.
Wow. That is, do you know what? I believe you can win that. I mean, I really think you can win that. I mean, you scored 6 goals in 2 games, and Newcastle wouldn't have scored 6 goals in 2 games. Absolutely no way. But we should have got Pearson anyway. I mean, you should have gone for Booth.
No.
You want to swap? You want to swap? Take Booth, take Pearson. No,
we'll keep Pearson. You can have our backroom stuff. We'll have Jones. You can have Keith Downing and Paul Simpson. We'll have Graham Jones. Yeah. I think that sounds a fair deal. We'll pay. We'll pay.
Let me have a word with them, sort of thing. See what they see it, but I can't see it happening anytime soon. I would get rid of Booth personally, but. Talking of Booth, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter this morning, and he talked about our game, but it's being talked about on Twitter and social media, and apparently Steve Bruce told Graham Jones to F off. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I actually looked at your tweet, and it's just pathetic, isn't it? I mean, why would you even do something like that? Just if you don't like something your backroom staff says, Just say it, but don't say like, "Oh, F off." That's ridiculous. Say, "Okay, no, I don't think that will work because of so and so." Don't say F off. It's just like he just doesn't like change. He just doesn't like new people coming in trying to help him, and he just wants to stick to his dinosaur methods, and it clearly not working, is it?
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, all Newcastle fans that we chat to be thinking, this guy is talking absolutely sense as he's a Newcastle United fan. But at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. And it was even worse last week when apparently Bruce and Ollie were shaking hands and Bruce was smiling and joking with Ollie. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, if you're a Newcastle fan, how would you feel about that? Do you think that should have been done in the dressing room or and outside of the stadium or inside the stadium? You shouldn't be going around smiling and joking after a 3-1 defeat.
No, he shouldn't really. But Steve Bruce, I know, what do you expect? He's gonna have a bath after losing 5-0 to Sunderland at home, isn't he? So next
Yeah.
time he plays Sunderland, he's gonna laugh. But he doesn't give a damn about anybody's opinion. He just cares about himself. And then the response to people saying about what happened there, he was just like, "Oh, am I not allowed to have a laugh with one of my ex-players?" I'm like, "What? You've lost 3-1. You're in a relegation scrap. Fans are against you. Mike Ashley's doing something. It seems like, and you're just laughing after losing 3-1 at Old Trafford. I mean, I understand that he's an ex-Man United player, ex-Man United legend, but you don't go around laughing after losing 3-1. It's just simply unacceptable."
Oh, well said, guy. Well said, man. Well said. Well said. But you're right. I mean, you can't go and saying that, man. I mean, listen, he's just opened himself to criticism. That's exactly what he's got. I mean, the press and Newcastle, I don't know, our media and the press, I mean, aren't allowed to ask Steve Bruce the tough questions because they'll get banned if they do that. But just out of common sense, do you think Steve Bruce is too comfortable with the press? Do you think he's having an easy ride?
He is. He just is, isn't he? I mean, I don't think any other club in the world has banned people for asking some tough questions ish.
Hmm.
It just had to be Mike Ashley in Newcastle, didn't it? It just had to be. And Steve Bruce is, yeah, he is definitely getting an easy ride. He's not facing the fact, which is Newcastle are doing poorly at the moment. I mean, they're the 17th. I mean, Fulham drew, which matches their result yesterday, so still the same gap. But luckily for you, Brighton have been absolutely dross in front of goal, which means that they're on the same point as Newcastle. If Brighton had converted half of those chances, they would be mid-table comfortably. But because of that, it's Newcastle and Brighton and Fulham. West Brom are creeping in there, but it's mainly Newcastle and Brighton with Fulham. But he really just has to get some sort of criticism in the end, because if the press thing goes on for much longer, I think he'll just like something will happen. He'll crack under pressure or something will happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you look at it, sort of thing, like we'll be in the bottom three anytime soon. We've got to play Brighton a couple of weeks' time. We've got West Brom next week. We've got Villa at home, and then we've got Brighton away. And we're in huge trouble. I mean, if you watch the game last night, the first half was excellent, the first half, but we should have been out of sight. I mean, Willock and Miron were guilty of missing good chances. Joe Linton is the worst of the lot for me. I mean, listen, he won the worst part on the pitch, but at the end of the day, he should have scored. And it seems that some of the Newcastle fans are having it in for him. Yeah, don't get us wrong. I'm not a Joe Linton fan. He deserves not to be playing for Newcastle. But yeah, so what do you think of that miss from Joe Linton?
That was pretty bad. I mean, I had to see it again. The game in the end was pretty boring, so I just zoned out for a bit, and then that's when the Joe Linton chance came along, and it's a pretty bad miss. But really, I mean, it's that wouldn't have determined the game really, because if Newcastle had gone 2-0 up, Wolves would have definitely gone for it. Then Newcastle, you never know. They might have held out, but they might have cracked under pressure. But I don't think that was genuinely a game-changing moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And do you think Newcastle will get relegated this season?
Quite like Fulham, so. But no, but I think they just stay up. I think they'll maybe like 17th by like a point or two. I genuinely think Brighton are in worse trouble than Newcastle at the moment, because they just can't finish their chances. Newcastle are not creating chances, but they're quite clinical. Let's be fair. They don't create many chances, but when they do come, they're quite clinical. That's because of Callum Wilson. Now that's another problem: injuries. So it's just all round. It's just going in a circle. Can't score goals, Callum Wilson. It's injuries. It's a repeated circle. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be really tight, because West Brom, I think they've got a genuine chance, because Big Sam has got them playing.
Yes, He has indeed. He has indeed. And, they'll definitely find a way. I mean, for me, obviously, I think Sheffield United's done. I think we'll be done. And I think Brighton will be done. I think Fulham will stay up. They'll find a way. And I think West Brom will stay up and will definitely find a way. But just a quick question on Newcastle. If we do get relegated, do you think you come back up again? Do you think you get promoted again next season?
No,
You don't
no
think you
chance.
will?
No,
I
no
think you will
chance.
need.
It's just so tough in the league at the moment. Last time Newcastle went up, it was genuinely because of Rafa Benitez and the fact that they kept loads of players. This time, no chance. If let's say Brentford don't go up, let's say Swansea don't go up, we'll still have Brentford, Swansea, Cardiff. We'll have Bristol City, who are doing well at the moment. Stoke, Blackburn. These are teams which are genuinely going to push next season. Newcastle haven't got a chance if they lose half of their squad and teams perform to their expected level. Newcastle haven't got a chance, in my opinion. So they need, if they do get relegated, I think they need to keep Steve Bruce because I think that he can definitely do.
Go on.
Because with Steve Bruce, I genuinely think they can do something in the Championship, but it's just going to depend on a squad and who stays and who leaves. Because I think that half of their first team will leave: Almiron, Saint-Maximin, Joe Linton, maybe not, but Callum Wilson, Shelby will leave, Ritchie will leave, Lewis will leave, Dubravka will leave. These are important players who are going to leave, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
I think you're going to be right, mate. It doesn't even think bearing power, do you know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. You just got to wait and see what happens at the end of the season. And even if you do stay up, personally, I still rip it up and start the whole team again because some of the players have just overstayed their time at Newcastle, do you know what I mean? But Joe Linton, for me, if he doesn't fix up, he'll be on his way. Yeah, but ASM could be on his way. Fabian could be on his way.
The wages as well, but for the players, it's just too much for the Championship. They Mike Ashley won't pay those wages at all.
Not chance. But things are you can force the players out, but if they don't want to leave, like Joe Linton, I mean, the stage might turn to Joe Linton and say, look, no one ain't going to have you. They pay you £90,000 a week, right? And if Mike Ashley pays that sort of wages in the Championship, oh my God, that's going to be problems. And if he doesn't fix up, that'd be the worst £90 million he's ever spent. We had Michael Owen, he was on £120,000 a week. Michael Owen, and he was past it. He's way past his sell by date. And Ashley still paid £120,000 a week to the guy. And he just didn't perform. And I could see exactly happening to Joe Linton if he get in the Championship.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough for him with Joe Linton. He's been dreadful, but he's like a type of player who does well with the play, but then doesn't score because we're Lyndon Dykes, who plays for QPR, does really well outside like we're out of possession, tracking back, holding play up, but then he just doesn't score. It's just like, okay, do this, but score, please, because otherwise we won't stay up. It's really tough for Joe Linton because I think if he can find a little bit of finishing ability, I think he'll do really well. But he needs to find that within him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's coming up to us and say under a different manager, he'd be a different kind of player. I mean, he's not a centre forward. We tried on the left-hand side of midfield in that. Tries number 10, it isn't that. But at the end of the day, I think for me, where does his best position? I just don't know. I don't know where his best position is. I still get it. I mean, he's can't even get a tune out of this guy.
At Hoffenheim, I used to watch him at Hoffenheim when he was there, and under Julian Nagelsmann, they played a 4-4-1-1, and Joe Linton was like a 10 sort of forward-ish, and I think it was somebody alongside him, and he was constantly making runs into the box, and it was really working, and that's why Newcastle paid 40 million for him. If Steve Bruce does Joe Linton as a 10, slanting to forward-ish, Callum Wilson So Maximan, Almiron or Fraser, Shelby, Hayden. That might just work, you know.
Wow. I tell you what, mate, you know your football, don't you, son? You really do. You probably embarrass a few people on here as well, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to go back to what Paul said. Julian can hit a barn door 2 foot away. Julian's position's in the box. That's first 2 points dropped last week. I have to agree, mate. I mean, I have to agree there because it was 2 points dropped. And yeah, Jamal Lewis allowed that cross to come in. And then 2 defenders went for the same ball. And then end up to Neves into the back of the net. But yeah, you say it was just stay up this season. Yeah, but for me, I think you probably I think you can get in the playoffs under Pearson. I think he might have left it a bit too late. But if he stays through these next season, he might have got a good chance to come up under this manager.
We need some players, Nigel Pearson players, and we've got a decent bunch already, but we just need some more Pearson players in the summer. And if we can get that, I think we've got a real good chance. We've just missed a manager like Nigel Pearson, like a Chris Hughton, who can manage and knows the way out of the Championship. Instead, we went with Dean Holden and Lee Johnson, who had no chance and who had no experience in the Championship previously. And in the end, it didn't work out.
Which is a shame because at the end of the day, I mean, Dean Holden just he was early there because he's a cheap option. That's all it was. They had this stupid 6 weeks process to take on a manager, sort of thing, when Lee Johnson was sacked. But crazy, man, crazy.
I thought that Dean Holden was already appointed within the first 2 weeks. It was just that they were working to appoint the assistant managers, Keith Downing and Paul Simpson. They were just working on that. Then, so that they could appoint them all together. I think they made their decision on hold in 2 weeks in already.
Yeah, man, you're right. But let's hope that Nigel does well for you. So I do feel for Dean Holden, by the way, but it is what it is. He damn like experience. Got David here again. Can't believe he still plays Shelby and Joe Linton as Carroll give us more and Matty Longstaff in midfielder. But I'm sure Matty's going to come in now, and I'm sure Carroll's going to have to come in as well. He has to. I mean, Carroll's not going to get us the goals that he used to do, but I still think, for me personally, I think he can make a difference because we need ballast in the team. Shelby's played well yesterday, I thought. Matty Longstaff, I can't see him playing on the boost ever again. He'll be gone.
Yeah, but the thing with Carroll is, what does he offer more than Joe Linton? I mean, Joe Linton holds the ball up well. Carroll holds the ball up well. Carroll's lost his finishing touch. Same with Joe Linton. Shelby, I thought he was great last night, and I genuinely think if he can keep that going, he will be the one to drag Newcastle out of it. Matty Longstaff, I agree with you. He's not going to play for Steve Bruce ever again. No chance. Watford were after him in January.
Udinese.
Udinese were after him in the summer, and then Watford were interested in January this year. It fell through in the end.
Wow, it is. Well, I feel sorry for Matty Longstaff because he wanted to play more games, and then Steve Bruce actually killed his career. But all I would say, Bruce better go first. He better leave first before any of the players does. At least Carroll can defend, which is very, very true. Listen, just one more question. I think I asked you as well. Do you think Newcastle will stay up?
Yes, you have asked that question, and yes, I did. I think they will just stay up. Just.
And did you enjoy coming on the show?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, brilliant show. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Do it again, man. Got to do it again. Listen, Ali Wood, thank you very much for coming on my chat and enjoy your day. I'm with Sav Mondo at 7 o'clock. Come and join us for that. She's absolutely amazing. And she's on AMC Matters on a Monday. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
You take care. What a guy. As Andy Ruder constantly chat. He talks a lot of sense, this kid, doesn't he? Absolutely amazing. And yeah, so could you please stick a like to my video and subscribe if you are new? I've got 500 followers now, which I think is great. Thanks so much indeed for that. And yeah, I mean, Alex said 5 subscribers, like, yay! But he drew nils yesterday against Fulham. I want you to beat Fulham today, if I'm honest with you. But thanks so much for your support. So I'm going to come back on another channel tonight at 7 o'clock while with the lovely Sav. Please join us for that. And I want 100 people watching my channel live today because Sav is absolutely amazing. And listen, I just got one more here, and it's absolutely brilliant. Thanks for having me on. Andy Woodruff, you know what, mate? You just come on anytime, my guy. Just come on anytime because end of the day, you're a good kid, and I hope your team, Bristol City, get into the playoffs this season. If they do that, then may go all the way. But I mean, thanks so much for coming on, and you should be proud of yourselves, mate. So until then, thanks for coming on, and I'm going to get yourself away, get a bit of a break, and I shall see you guys later at 7 o'clock with Sav Mondo. Plenty to talk about on Newcastle. And until then, guys, have a good day. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.